Hello, hello, hello. All right. I'm in Chefchaouen in Morocco. I'm at Riyadh Del Rio. Just had breakfast. Very tasty. And you could see the sights around me. Here is the blue city. A lot of the buildings here are blue. The sun is about to come up. So right above me, that's the Spanish mosque. I watched the sunset last night from up there. I came in last night, took a taxi, adventures galore. To halfway up there, and then the other half I had to walk up the hill, and that hill was quite steep. It was a big shocker. What's Chefchaouen like? I only got to experience just a few hours of it. I see the waterfall right there. It sounds very soothing. I thought the vendors were going to be more relaxed here. I had heard that on YouTube. They seemed more vigorous than in Tangier. Tangier seemed like it had a lot of people, and the vendors were used to tourists not really paying them much mind. But here, yeah, a lot of the vendors, they're pretty relaxed and cool. But you do have some people, they're like, hey, come to my store, come to my store. And that's quite a, right? It's gorgeous here. The blue walls, it's called the Blue City. And you can see a lot of the buildings are blue. It's really nice. So when I got here, I was going to take a taxi from the CTM bus station up here into the old city. But it was a larger taxi. It wouldn't have fit up the narrow streets. And one issue that I encountered was trying to negotiate a price. The issue was the communication, we were lost in translation. They wanted to charge 50 dirham. And I was using a currency converter. They were punching in 5,000 rather than 50. I think because in Africa and in Europe, they use a comma instead of a period. So I'm used to seeing a period when it's 00, like $10 is 10 period 00 in Europe, and at least Northern Africa, $10 is 10 comma 00. There was no comma, so he was putting in 5,000, and that was coming up to 50 bucks for a 7-minute taxi ride. And I was just like, no, that's just too much. That's too much. I was trying to negotiate to go. I was willing. I said, okay, I'm willing to pay 20 bucks US for a 7-minute ride. I was willing to do that. He's like, no, that's too low. And I said, okay, hey, 42. I could do $42 for a 7-minute ride. But I just walked away after it was a group of them. After a group of haggling, I just walked away. I went to another taxi, a smaller taxi, a blue taxi line, and the person told me 30 dirham, because he said he would just drop me part of the way. I was like, yeah, 30? 30 is a whole lot better than 5,000. So, but what I realized is when the taxi driver followed me into the other towards the other taxi, like, hey, why are you going with them? And he was upset, like, oh, you're getting the same price. The same price. Then I realized they were charging the same thing, but this other person, they were able to spoke a little bit of Spanish, and we were able to understand each other. It was the same price, but yeah, so things could be lost in translation. I felt kind of bad because, yeah, I would have went with the other people, but then again, their taxi wouldn't have fit So yeah, this Riyadh, it's real nice. The breakfast was real tasty. This place is high up on a mountain. It was a lot of climbing, a lot of climbing. And so I'm going to shoot, going on the scene. I went to this restaurant. Yeah, it was really nice. It was tasty. I had chicken tagine for the first time. It was good, but I wanted to get up to the mosque, and I asked one of the workers there, "What's the quickest way to get to the mosque from there?" Because the sun was setting, and what he said was to go down outside the Medina, catch a taxi halfway up. So yeah, I sprinted down and going through the streets. So something interesting that I discovered as I was going down, leaving the Medina, going down to the street. And I hadn't really noticed it, hadn't thought much about it. But there were a couple people, they were like, "Hey, black man, black man." One guy said, "Hey, Africa." And other people I said, "Hey, welcome to the motherland." So another guy said, "Hey, black man, you like women?" So it was, all of a sudden it dawned on me that I was the only black man around in that area. So it was like, oh wow. It was a revelation. But yeah, I hopped in a taxi and it was like to go down to the main city center. Things were going, there was a lot of stores, a lot of taxis, a lot of traffic. And yeah, it was cool, it was cool. All love. So this is my initial impressions of Chefchaouen. Please like and subscribe. And share this with anyone you think might find it helpful.